Hey, you. Yes, you. I'm speaking to you. Remember how I used to talk about climbing mountains and when we get to the top of the mountain? Don't leave, I'm talking to you. I know I'm not preaching, but we may reference the Bible a little bit. But do you remember what I used to talk about the mountains and the mountains can be hard to climb? What about the valleys that lead to the mountains? We never spoke about valleys, and valleys are the thing that leads to the mountains. And I think it's time we talk about it. Are you staying tuned, Bloomer? Hey, Bloomer, and welcome back to my vlogs. I hope you're doing well, you're doing okay. I am in a slightly much better headspace than the last time I was on here, because I know a lot of you sent messages and stuff. I am not 100%, but I'm getting there. So thank you all for those who asked, message, DM, whatever the case may be. I want to talk about the title of this video, which is Solace in the Valley. And if you don't know what that means, Psalms 23. No, I'm not preaching like I said in this video, but I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to speak about, we always talk about mountains, like I said earlier, but we never talk about the valley. And you remember in Psalms 23 when David said, "Yeah, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." Have y'all ever really reflected on that verse? Like what it really means? And me personally, I read it and I knew what it meant, but to say sit down and really reflect on it, I never did. But not until I had a conversation with one of my close girlfriends, and we were talking about things that we go through, and we referenced my previous blog post about mountains, climbing mountains, and I was like, what about the valleys? What could we consider the valleys? And we referenced Psalms 23, and it's oh yeah, when we hit rock bottom in situations. So I realized, what if when we hit rock bottom, and I may be a little slow, some of you already referenced this, the fine, for y'all who didn't do that. So what if when we really do hit rock bottom, that is our valley, the shadow of death? Think about it. Valleys are dark. I don't know if they're cold or not, but metaphorically, they're cold, they're dirty, they're dusty, it's depressing, right? And it's always one thing after another. You don't know where you're going. You are lost. You're alone. Because usually when you hit your own personal rock bottom, you're technically by yourself. And based on experience, I think it's safe to say that when you hit rock bottom, you are by yourself. And all you can do is just trust God, and you have to walk by faith and not by sight. You don't know what's happening. You don't know where the end of the valley is going to lead you. And this is the time when you have to be a David. Literally have to be David. He didn't question God. He didn't complain. He didn't look back. He just trusted and he went forth. And I think that is important. That is something that in our lives we need to do. When we realize we've hit rock bottom, it's not meant for us to complain. The human in us are going to complain. We're going to be scared. We're going to question. But sometimes you don't need to do all of that. You just need to calm down, breathe, and just go for the ride. Sadly. I would say, me personally, I do have a tendency when I hit my quote-unquote valleys, I like to kind of question and be okay, what did I do to deserve this? And I think everyone, that's a natural thing, right? But I don't think it's really, we have to learn to kind of cut that out. And like I said, be a David. Don't question it, just go through it. Because at the end of the valley, it's 2-to-1 leading you to the mountains. And the lessons that you learned and the patience that you've had when you've hit rock bottom, and the lessons that you've learned when you hit rock bottom walking through the valley are the lessons that are going to help you when you have to go up the mountain and climb to the top. Because honestly, like I've referenced in a previous video when I talked about climbing mountains, I walk up to the rock climbing thingy and I was just like, bro, this ain't it. I had little other practice rock climbing things that they had at the place, and you like practice them, but it's like, okay, I've learned this lesson, he gave me these steps, okay, now for the big mountain. So it's kind of how I like to reference things. If you guys have never been rock climbing, I suggest y'all try it though. It's really fun. Can't remember the name of the place because we were in Miami and that was like years ago when I went rock climbing, but anyway, it was fun. I'm sorry, I have to look at my notes because I'm still having slight brain fog, just slightly. I want to say, whatever you do, trust him. Trust God. I don't care how hard it may be. I don't care about, I do care, but when I say don't care, as in, don't worry about the excuses. Like, even if you feel like you can't do it, don't look back. You now in the valley, it could have been your fault. Maybe it wasn't your fault. Maybe it just had to happen to help you. Don't look back. Just go with the flow of life. Keep going. And I want to leave out with this quote, which is never question walking through the valley. Just keep walking. God will see you through. And once you know that God is going to see you through, and you know, and you have trust, you know how they say have faith as small as a mustard seed. Let me tell y'all something. I have had situations where I think my faith was smaller than a mustard seed. And it just grew and it grew and it grew because I had to have faith. I had to pray. I had to be disciplined. I had to use wisdom. I read my Bible and I had to like literally talk myself through certain things. So when you are between a rock and a hard place and you really feel like you have nowhere else to go, one thing I will say is do not look back. It's fall season right now, right? If you fall back, what if I said? I've said fall back, but move forward. Don't look to the past. Don't look back. If bridges have to be burned, burn those bridges. And that's with any situation. You're now in the valley, just move forward. It may be foggy and you can't see. It may be dark, but just have faith and trust and know that things will work out. Take it from me. I am someone who overthinks, and I still have a habit of overthinking. I am a person who has anxiety. I have that thing where someone would tell me something like words of wisdom, or my pastor or a preacher would tell me something, and I'm just asking them. I'm like, well, what that's supposed to mean? Like, I just question. And I'm a person, I'm very inquisitive. I gotta ask you a question. I gotta ask you what this means. If you can't explain it to me, I can stand there for a minute. I go overthink it. And sometimes that's not the best thing to do. Sometimes you just need to listen to what they say and just go. And take it from me. Overthinking is you're going to be an enemy. Sometimes you could be right. Sometimes you could be wrong. Sometimes you just overreact it. But I just want to leave you guys with these words. I encourage you guys to read Psalms 23. I think now more than ever, there are a lot of persons. I have encountered persons who are like rock bottom. And it's hard when you hear people talking about what they're going through. I personally, you guys already know, because I think I'm open enough to say what's going on. Just enough, because I don't want to say all my business out there. But those who are close to me, they know I've been going through it. But keep a smile on your face and know that, trust and know that you will get through it. I want to encourage every and all persons. And because of COVID, I think everyone is suffering right now, one way or another, whether it's losing a loved one, or you can't work, or you're trying to decide to do one thing or the other. Just take it easy. Read Psalms 23. Put yourself in David's situation. How would God want you to react? There's a reason, like how we say everything happens for a reason. I am a strong believer that everything happens for a reason. And right now, for me, I have walked through the valley. I think I am still walking through the valley slightly. It's probably going to be a roller coaster ride, but it's completely fine. But I know there's light at the end of that valley. So I just want to encourage you all again, like I said, you're going through a hard time, a rough time, read the Bible verse. You can go on my website at www.bloomingwithazalea.com. You can read this blog post, which is a little slightly more detailed if you was a reader. Read Bahamas Read. If you're not, you can go based on this video. It's all right. But please, guys, just trust and know that everything will work out. If there's one person this video gets to, just know that things will work out for the better. I pray that you guys continue to be safe. Again, I love you all so much for supporting me on my journey of blooming. I want you guys to bloom yourselves. I want you guys to bloom in the biggest, most beautiful sunflowers, azalea flowers, whatever. I want you to grow. I want you to keep pushing. I want you to keep moving forward. Keep walking through the damn valley. Don't look back. Don't question it. Just go through it. Don't complain. Don't say, why is this happening to me? Just say, what lesson can I get from this? What are the lessons? What are you trying to show me? What is it that I need to grow? Because sometimes we simply go through these valleys because we need a lesson. Maybe it's to help mold us and mature us. And I can surely say that I have had some molding done. I wanted to throw in the towel several times. I did not throw in the towel because I am stronger than that. And I've grown, I think, just blooming, okay, guys? Thank you for watching my video. I don't want to ramble too much longer. Have a great day. Enjoy your day. Be blessed. I will see you all in my next video, okay, guys? Bye. Mwah. Keep blooming.